Hello viewers, today I will be highlighting two different ideologies through which two different countries are being run, and their ideologies, of course, they are affecting two different parts of the world, one being Middle East and the other, of course, Asia. I'm talking about Zionism and Hindutva ideology. Today I will be highlighting the similarities between both of them and how they are affecting relative areas. First of all, Zionism, it was initiated in late 19th century by Theodor Herzl. It was the brainchild of Theodor Herzl, who just wanted a state for Israel at that time. But later on, that ideology shaped itself into demanding greater Israel. Zionism believes in greater Israel. Greater Israel that was promised land, and it was promised to them thousands of years ago. They say it was promised to the people of Israel more than 3,000 years ago. And that greater Israel claims that today's few parts of Egypt, then few parts of rest of the Arabian nations, all of them, they actually belong to the greater Israel, and they want them as their part. Similar kind of ideology propagated by Kashyap Baliram Hajbar back in 1925, in which RSS, Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, an organization gets formed with the idea of Akhand Bharat. And that Akhand Bharat idea is that nobody owns this land. They are the only sole owners of this land. And that land to them actually includes areas from Tibet, Bhutan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh. They claim that all of these areas, they actually form the Akhand Bharat and Akhand India, a united India. This ideology believes that all of these land, they actually belong to Hindutva ideology, they actually belong to Hindu supremacist ideology, and they believe that they have to take it back from rest of the countries. So the first similarity is both Zionism and Hindutva ideology, they have a claim which dates back to thousands of years, and today they are pursuing their ideology for that. Interestingly, both of these ideologies, they hate Islam. Both of them, they are Islamophobic, as I would be showing you in these two videos.
Muslims become more than 30%, that country is in danger.
That sounds like hatred. That sounds like language of hatred.
It's easy to say hatred. I'm being kind to them by not letting them come to India.
Article 14 of the Indian Constitution guarantees the right to equality, as you know, for all persons living in India.
I can tell you that's a misinterpretation of Article 14. Article 14 guarantees equality of equals. I'll give you an example.
Are all people not equal?
All people are not equal.
Muslims do not deserve equal rights to apply for citizenship.
There's no such thing as equal rights. They're not in an equal category.
As you have seen a couple of videos, one from the Zionist side and the other one from the Hindutva ideology. Both of the ideologies, they believe that Muslims are not equal humans and they should never be treated as equal humans. Here I want to mention that it is not the Hinduism or Judaism that is against Islam. It is these two ideologies, Hindutva ideology and Zionist ideology, that has hatred towards Islam. Otherwise, reality of Judaism is this one.
And as Jews, we find it obligatory, it's critical. We speak up and say that what they're doing is criminal. Our religion is a religion of Judaism is 3,000 years. Zionism is a mere 100 odd years. The movement and the state is 75 years. How could they dare claim they're speaking in the name of our religion, which says that we're not allowed to kill or steal, we're not allowed to occupy, we're not even allowed to have a state since 2,000 years ago.
So be it Judaism or Hinduism, both of them, they don't have hatred towards Islam. It's just the Zionist ideology and Hindutva ideology that has deep-rooted hatred towards Islam. Importantly, both of these ideologies, they are expansionist ideologies. As I have earlier mentioned about how the ideology of Zionism promotes greater Israel ideology. And when it comes to Hindutva ideology, it talks about Akhand Bharat or Greater Bharat. So both of these ideologies, they have the expansionist thought. They want to expand themselves. And guess what? There was another ideology called Nazism, and Nazism believed in expansionism. Of course, we know that in previous century, whatever Hitler did, it was all about expansionism. It was all about hatred towards religion. Of course, Jews were at that time hated by Hitler. And today's Zionism, which believes that it is part of Judaism, it hates Islam. It's not Judaism that hates Islam, it's the Zionist ideology that hates Islam. And did you know that Hindutva ideology uses swastika as its symbol? And guess what? Nazism always used swastika as its symbol. And now I want to draw your attention towards the modus operandi taken up by Israel and India in recent wars. Of course, if you go through the speeches of both of the leaderships, you would find similarities there as well. Have a look.
पाकिस्तान के अवाम को आगे आना होगा, पाकिस्तान के नौजवानों को आगे आना होगा, सुख चैन की जिंदगी जियो, रोटी खाओ, वरना मेरी गोली तो है।
To the brave people of Iran, and I have a message for them. Our fight is not with you. Our fight is with the brutal dictatorship that has oppressed you for 46 years. I believe that the day of your liberation is near. When that happens, the great friendship between our two ancient peoples will flourish once again.
Doesn't it look like we're watching the twins? Another similarity is that both of them, they are hegemonic towards their neighbors. If we take the example of today's Zionists, of course they are hegemonic towards all of the neighboring countries, be it Syria, be it Jordan, be it Egypt, be it Lebanon, all of them, they are facing this hegemon. And if we talk about India, India always tried to be a hegemon towards its neighbors. They tried it towards Bhutan, successful. They tried it towards Nepal, very successful. They tried it towards Sri Lanka, towards Bangladesh, towards all of its neighboring states. Of course, they were successful until they came towards Pakistan back in 2019. February 2019, they came towards Pakistan. They tried to be a hegemon on Pakistan as well. They were gobsmacked, and you all know what happened later on. Of course, two of their planes, they were shot down back in February 2019. Abhinandan was caught, and that's how that chapter ended. But at that time, Modi kept on saying that if we had Rafale, the situation would have been different. And yes, they got the Rafales from the French, but when they came towards Pakistan to fight against Pakistan in May 2025, the situation was even worse. Of course, as it is being reported, the 7 of their fighter jets, they got shot by Pakistan. Air's priority, of course, Pakistan maintained it. And when it came to Pakistan's missiles, one by one, when they were hitting all of their air bases and all of their military installments, that's when India rushed towards US and wanted US to play its role in terms of mediation so that Pakistan can stop sending missiles to India. So this is the way Pakistan shown a mirror to India. This is where it stands, and it will never be allowed to be a hegemon towards Pakistan. But what happens to Israel? Of course, it still needs to be looked into how they are dealt with by Iranians. Frankly, when we talk about US assistance to Israel and India, both look very similar. Both look like twins. Of course, we know that Israel gets assistance from US in the Middle East, be it billions of dollars of worth bombs which were being dropped on Gaza by Israel They were, of course, being sent by US. And currently, the war between Israel and Iran is seeing that assistance being delivered to Israel by the US. Similar is the case in context of India. When we talk about Chinooks, Apaches, Predators, all of these assistance that was actually delivered by US to India. Though few believe that US is just strengthening India against China, but when it comes to India, of course, it is not strengthened enough. When we talk about Pakistan, forget about China. India can't even fight Pakistan. But when we talk about assistance, both Israel and India, they are assisted by US. Talking about the war mantra, both Israel and India, they always talk about they are fighting against the terrorism. In actual, Pakistan is the one that was fighting against terrorism. And if we talk about Iran, especially their General Qasim Soleimani, he was hailed and still being termed as someone who actually fought against ISIS. And of course, when we talk about Pakistan, Pakistan has been fighting against this war, this menace, this war on terror since more than 20 years. Who accepts that and who endorses it? Here's General Michael Kurilla talking about Pakistan.
Against the homeland. Right now, what we saw is the Taliban, in going after ISIS-K, they hate each other, pushed a lot of them into the tribal areas on the Afghan-Pakistan border. Through a phenomenal partnership with Pakistan, they have gone after ISIS-Khorasan, killing dozens of them. Through a relationship we have with them, providing intelligence, they have captured at least 5 ISIS-Khorasan high-value individuals. They extradited back Jafar, who was one of the key individuals behind the Abbey Gate bombing. And the first person he called, Chief of the Army Staff Munir, was me, and said, I've caught him, I'm willing to extradite him back to the United States. Please tell the Secretary of Defense and the President. So we are seeing Pakistan, with limited intelligence that we're providing them, go after them using their means to do that. And we're seeing an effect on ISIS-Khorasan. At the same point, they are continuing to move around. Sometimes they'll try and go back into Afghanistan. We have the means to be able to collect, but for the most part right now, they're hanging out right in that border area of Pakistan. And I would also tell you that, since 2024, the beginning, Pakistan had over 1,000 terrorist attacks in the western area, killing about 700 security and civilians and 2,500 wounded. They're in an active counterterrorism fight right now, and they have been a phenomenal partner in the counterterrorism world.
Viewers, I hope you have liked today's video. If you did, subscribe this channel and click the bell icon so that whenever I make a video, you can get the notifications. Take very good care of yourself.